If you want to learn flower drawing with very simple and easy step, then this video is for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as today's video is only about drawing, so we need this pencil to create a basic guideline and a pen to trace everything and do some extra shading and detailing with it. So let's start with the first one. So the first flower is Marigold. So in this one you need to create a small circle and then you can create a bigger circle keeping the distance little vary from each other. So the smaller circle is not in the center but more towards upward direction. So the distance between these two circles could be bigger in the lower direction and smaller towards upward direction. And in the same way we can create one more circle, again keeping the distance bigger from the lower direction and smaller towards upward direction. Now a U kind of shape to create the base of the flower and a stem. So this is the basic guideline. Now with the help of pen we can create petals. So for the smaller circle I am creating spike kind of structure, smaller in size and bushier. So you can create spike from one after another to fill this particular area. And then once done you can start creating petals. These are smaller in size and little bit wavy pattern around the edges. So this should not be smooth, as you can see. I am creating little wavy pattern around the edges. So I am creating two layer in the inner circle, and you can see because of distance from the center you can create bigger petals towards lower direction and smaller petal towards upward direction. Now we need to follow the same process for the outer circle as well. So again I am creating two layers of petals, bigger towards lower direction as we have more distance from the center and smaller towards upward direction, and something like this we have created. So this is the side perspective. You can choose any other perspective based on your interest. I have created separate video around perspective of Marigold. So if you want you can get a link into my description section and you can learn different perspective as well. And now you can do some extra shading and detailing around the base of the flower and the stems and petals. So I'm doing some lines around the petal area and I have done cross hatching at the base of the flower. So cross hatching means creating parallel line and then cross line to get some darker shade. So the closer you will create these parallel line, the greater shade you will get. So you can definitely do some extra shading and detailing. Now for the leaf I have created one line and then sub line around left and right, and again a wavy pattern of leaf you can create in these sublines. So basically this is one leaf having multiple smaller leaves left and right into it, and we are done with the first one. Now let's move to the second one. So this one is Waterlily, or inspired by Waterlily you can say. So in this one I have created a small circle and then again I am creating one more circle, keeping the circumference of the circle same from the base. So you can see the smaller circle is on the lower direction of the bigger circle, and then I am creating one more big circle like this. So this is the basic guideline for this particular flower. Now I am creating a spike kind of structure but from outside to inside. So this is more like folded towards the center part of the flower, and make it bushier, create more and more spikes, and then create little bigger spike like smaller petals but more towards outward direction, and fill the smaller circle as well. So based on the distance from the inner circle you can create these petals and make it bushier. So this is the center part of the flower. Now you can create petals. So in this one petals are simple. You just need to create little longer and pointed petals. You can create little bit of folded pattern as well if needed, and you can also combine smaller petals in between. So basically you need to create bigger petals at distance first, and then try to fill in between area with the help of a smaller petal or behind petal. So behind petal means you are creating one more petal between two, and something like this you can do to fill the outer structure, and then you can create a stem and leaf. So in this one I'm creating a leaf, little round structure having a wavy pattern into it and a center part of the leaf, and having multiple vines into it, and little water kind of structure at the base. Now let's trace everything quickly with the help of pen. You can do a bit of changes if needed in this particular step, because this is the last step wherein you want to do some changes in the petals. You can do it easily. Now you can see clearly what kind of structure we needed, what kind of petal I'm creating, behind petal, in between petal, to fill the outer area, and stems and leaves. Now this is the basic structure. We need extra bit of shading and detailing, so I'm going to do all these things with the help of pen. So I have created one folded pattern into the leaf, and I'm doing more shading in that particular area to make it little darker, more shading around the stems to make it darker, and little bit of shading around the leaf area. So I'm creating multiple vines and sub vines kind of structure and pattern into the leaf, and creating little bit bolded and water kind of shade at the base. You can create one line in between these petals as well, and you can do some shading with very soft hand. That is also something you can do, but this much I'm doing for now. Rub all the unwanted pencil mark, and we are done with second one as well. Now let's move to the third one. So in this one you can create an oval kind of shape, something like this, to create the center part of the flower, and then you can create one more oval shape, keeping the center part little bit towards upward direction. So this is oval shape. I think this is quite big, so I should keep it a little bit smaller. So let me correct this particular one, and something like this you can do. And then you can fill the inner circle or oval shape with small round kind of pattern into it to create center part of the flower. You can fill the negative space as well in between these smaller circle, and you can create smaller dots around the center part as well to finish the center part of the flower. Now as far as petals are concerned, in this one petals are quite simple. You need to create this longer teardrop kind of shape first at distance. So I always follow this particular process to create petals. So I always start creating petals at distance, and then I try to fill in between area based on what kind of area you have. If you have smaller area available, then you can create behind petal or half petal, or if you have space in between these two petals, you can create one more, and then you can create smaller and bigger. So combining these petals together to create this particular beautiful flower. So this flower is inspired by Aster flower, and this one is again side perspective. You can create a small base of flower, and you can do some cross hatching to create some extra shading and detailing, and a stem and couple of leaves around it. So I'm doing one more line around each petal that we have as a part of shading and detailing. I have also created separate video around different perspective of Aster flower as well. So again, you can get a link into my description section if you want to learn different perspective of Aster. Now let's do the leaf area. So I'm creating small pointed in a different direction simple leaf like this. I think this one is quite simple to draw, and we are done with this particular flower as well. Now let's move to the last one, fourth one. So this one is inspired by lotus flower, or this one is a lotus flower. So you can create an oval shape, and then you can create a pointed and little thicker petal. This one is more towards inside, and this one itself is one more petal having folded pattern from the side. So from both side I am adding this folded pattern. So something like this you can do for the center part of the flower filled with petals closed little bit. So let me do it with the help of pen so that you can see everything clearly. So I'm creating a big petal like this having folded structure from side. Then in between I have one more petal. This one is folded towards inside, and two more inside petals like this. So this one is the center part. You can do some shading in this particular petals because this one is folded and we are not able to see the front side of the petal, and you can do some shading around the folded area as well. Now you need to fill the outer area with the help of bigger petals to create a complete lotus flower. So I'm creating one petal here having folded structure, one here. Again, folded pattern is important for this particular flower, so keep adding folded pattern. And then couple of more petals left and right and towards lower direction. So I have created these 3 petals having folded pattern into it and a stem. I think this one is quite bigger, so let me make it little smaller is what I am feeling now. So I want to keep it little smaller in size. So I'm doing nothing, just repeating the similar stuff but smaller in size. Now you can do the tracing part with the help of pen so that you can see things clearly. So I am tracing it, and as you can see the folded pattern gives you a very nice effect. So do not forget to add these folded pattern, as this is very important when it comes to the lotus. So I have created these many petals, rubbing all the unwanted pencil mark and a stem in between. You can do some extra shading and detailing around the stem area as we are doing for other flowers as well. And I'm doing cross hatching for all the folded pattern that we can see. So again, cross hatching means creating cross lines. The closer you will create these lines, the greater shade you will get. So something like this I have created for all the folded pattern that I have. And then you can do some lines around the inner side of the petals as well, so that you can see clearly which part is outer side of the petal and which part is inner side of the petal. So not doing much, just some lines with very soft hand I have created. And then you can create a leaf little bit folded. So I'm creating a U kind of shape having an oval kind of structure at the tip of this oval shape. So very simple to draw. Again, I have created a separate video around different perspective of lotus flower as well. So if you want, you can get a link into my description section. The perspective of flowers are very important if you like to compose all these flowers together in a group. So try learning these perspective, and I have shown everything in detail so that this would be easier for you to understand. So we are done with the 4th one as well. So hope this video is helpful for you guys, and please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me. And thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.